And just like every week, there are new Tokusatsu episodes to watch. We're here to talk about them. This is
Yes.
Half
Oh
Hour
man.
Henshin. And I'm Sleepy Witch, joined by
DJ Azure, the 2.5D hero talking tuber.
man, we finally got the Gavv opening. It's so
Yeah.
fucking cute.
Yeah, but oh man. Yeah, it's I just can't get over how good it is. Like
This
it's
episode is
so
so
cute.
cute. Yeah.
Like okay, so not just to retread what everyone else has been saying. Well, not just to retread the episode, but like man, I am loving Shoma so
He's
much.
so cute. Uh yeah. He tried to eat a towel. That was good.
Yeah, that was adorable, and like
Also, mhm,
so oh man, like did you see the interview thing about Sachika,
I have not
like the
seen
small bit?
anything. The
Okay,
only thing that I know is that obviously, they have Gab and Valen in the same little like bubbles, and I'm like, oh, that's where
mhm.
his little rider's gonna show up. And then she gets one too, and I'm like, pudding rider?
Yeah, dude, everyone's hoping that she's the yellow pudding rider, and
Oh
we're
my
all like
god. I mean,
excited.
she's even got the yellow theming on her thing. It's gotta be, right?
Yeah, like that's
More
what we're hoping
female
for.
riders, bro. Hell yeah.
And but yeah, like the interview that I was like showing is that why did you make Sachika a gal or a garu? And it's because like, oh well, I mean, we came up with the idea when we wrote her name and we realized that the kanji for happiness is in her name. And it's like, yes, it's like yeah, gals make people happy, so yeah, we decided to make her a gal. I'm like, this is the cutest fucking thing about production ever. Oh my god.
Also, it's so fucking funny to me. I love this opening. This might be one of the like cuz like sometimes the song is really good, sometimes like the video is really good, but it's not always like on par. Man, both of them are super good. Like they mix real well together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah, like
also
they're singing along with it.
I'm
It's so
also
cute.
fucking obsessed with the like we get the like fucking sadness and the like running and the like screaming cutting into like the like real cool like Gav montage, and then it's like we get the little cut and it's like the boys dancing in the at the pad.
Yeah, they're
It's
just
so
singing
fucking cute.
groovy.
Every time I see the dancing part, I lose it, but it's so cute.
Yeah. Oh man, it's so good. And like talking about the sadness, like this episode, like a lot of people on Twitter have been like saying that this brings back the idea of the lonely hero. And it's like, oh my god, this is so good.
Yeah, talking about just random. First of all, can we talk about how fucking cool her house is? Or her
Hmm.
like office place. That building is awesome. Holy shit.
I,
I
I
want to
I I
live
can't
somewhere
find
like
it.
that.
Like it's like I want to know where that building is in Japan.
Also, I fucking just love like he's so funny. He's a cute little guy and he just fucking keeps making other little guys who he has to keep putting in little buckets and shit.
Yeah, he's just hiding them everywhere. It's so good. But what's also awesome too, though, is like despite him, being being like the solo hero, it's like his little gochizo are like reporting to him and like telling him where things are.
I love that
And this
they're
is
like, yeah, I love that they're kind of like his little like henchmen. They really are. Because I think there was a thing talking about he called them like his minions, but
hmm
in some of the people are talking about the translations about how like that's supposed to be like that's my family, but in the same way that it would be said like Yakuza style, like that's my household. Those
hmm
are his guys that he commands, and I'm like, that's so fucking funny.
yeah. Oh, man, it's so good. And
Also,
then like
seeing the fucking like bad guy factory and seeing all of them,
yeah, and like
especially. Mhm.
and they are not happy with like it's like they are like just literally there just to work with each other. They do like they are like throwing jabs at each other. It's so good.
I love also this is one of my favorite things to do in like manga, anime, any like visual thing where we see like their human form, and when they're walking past mirrors, you can see like the monster forms.
Hmm. Yeah,
That
we see
always
the
gets me.
twins
That
form
always
and stuff
seems
like that.
cool, and we get to see one of them transform into his human part, into his like his human version, which he's
Hmm.
wearing this weird not Gav looking belt from
Yeah,
Transform
like
Back.
yeah, and like that like that's the thing that keeps getting brought up like during the episodes is like, wait, a red Gav? Like
Yep.
people are like wondering what's going on with him.
Yep, and then we've seen a different monster with a red Gavv, maybe
Mm-hmm.
from what Valen's been talking about. That's something he saw years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Also, okay, so is the main guy? Because I thought from the stuff, I thought the main guy from the stomach family. I thought that was the dad. Is that not the dad?
No, he's the first son.
He's the first son. So they're talking about the dad being dead. So now all I can think of is like the red Gav was his dad,
Most
and it
likely, or
was like
something.
his dad was actually like not a bad granny, you know what I mean? And he fell in love with the mom, and he didn't need humans, and that's why his Gav was also red. And at some
Mm-hmm.
point, maybe he got framed for like something terrible that happened because of him. And it seems like they've taken him out, and obviously now he's lost his mom too.
Yeah.
So honestly, sad stuff. I love that when she asks for his name, he starts to say "show him his stomach," and he's like, "Wait a minute, can't say that."
Mhm.
I
It's
also,
funny because
Mhm.
people like to us technically it got leaked that his name was Shoma Stomach, but um what is it in this episode, like it's like it just reveals it right away, so it's not like it was meant to be like a big secret that he
Yeah,
is
and
one
I
of
mean,
them.
even in the credits, he was labeled as "show him his stomachs" last episode. People talked about, so they were like, it's not something they're like hiding.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Oh man, but man, it was like
Also,
it's
just because,
crazy. Like they're getting angry at like like the part timers, like not doing stuff.
yep.
Um,
I
yeah,
also
and
love again. I was ready for Valen to be like a serious detective guy, and for him being this like goofy goober working with like this other goofy goober at like a random detective agency like office with like papers strewn everywhere and everything. It's so funny. And
yeah,
like
oh man, I loved it.
it's so good.
Yeah, like yeah. So we basically had that. We had that, and of course, like the other big thing about this episode is that we got your chip form. And okay, you know what? I remember that I was like not super like
Yeah, you were
excited for the
not
chip
feeling chip
form,
form.
but oh my god.
Dude, the form is so here's the thing. The form is so cute. The fact that like it can only slice at certain angles and then it like cracks like chips on all the other angles.
Yeah, like it is so cool. Like, yeah, it's like yeah, he basically transforms. He has the chip form, and it's like he basically blocks an attack and just completely shatters immediately. And then he basically just goes to just quickly test it, and it's like that makes so much sense. And it's like when you yourself are eating chips, if you eat it the wrong way and that thing like just jabs the top of your roof, the roof of your mouth. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, it's the angle.
Also, again,
Uh,
love some of the lines, like the happiness of humans doesn't exist just for your consumption.
mm-hmm. And then
Fantastic. I
yeah, and
love the chip
then the
forms, like,
suit.
or the chip swords, like, reforming.
Yes, that's what I was about to get to. Yeah, it's like basically the reveal, like he basically just like disappears to the monster after like blocking attack, and you just see the chips form behind him. It's like give them the dark treats, and it's like
Or perish.
ah,
Which, by
exactly.
the
It was
way, again, I fucking love that they also, like, ADR'd, like, the sound effects. So, like, every time that he slashes, you hear the, like, like, the crunch.
mm-hmm.
So cute. Uh,
Yeah, but yeah, it was so cool, like him just revealing himself that way, and like it really like it's just so much fun, like seeing him switch back and forth between like this super like happy, like just this super happy guy, and then like the most like solitary and like I'm a monster,
yep.
but I
Oh,
yeah,
man.
like
And I loved how good some of the shots were when he's got the chip sword out and he's jumping through. Uh, and again, like doing cool little thematic finishers. We ended up not talking about the first kick last episode, so we got to talk about it.
oh yeah,
The gummy like squash stomp. That was
yeah,
cool. I was not expecting like a stomp into death.
yeah.
That was
It's
intense.
yeah, just eats it, kicking gummy, just makes just gives him the big boot, and he just stomps. Like I actually no, I think he kicked up in the air and then he stomped. Like it
Yeah,
was
yeah, he
like
like jumps up and he comes down, but still the stomp into like okay, bye, like crushes him. Brutal.
oh man,
But
yeah, like
again,
it's sick.
love so much of this choreography. Like you said, love the chip sword like reappearing behind the monster. I love that he's like sitting above him, and it's like, all
Mhm.
right, you're lost, and he like drops down, spinning. I
Yeah.
love the little chip eyes. They look cute.
Yeah, the fact that the transformation basically shows them being like kind of like shave cut off like
Yeah, they're like
through like a
potato. You see
mandolin.
like the
Yeah.
potatoes on his face, and they get like shaved off.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah, that was semi goofy. Like if you pause, like when the potatoes on his face, like ha ha, and then it cuts to shows the eyes, and you're like, ah,
yeah, I love the dumb potatoes. It was the dumb like CG potatoes. I was fantastic. I love that. But now we got the chip sword finish, which is smashing the chips so he could fucking just chuck a bunch of them at one time,
yeah.
and then
Uh,
finishing it off with like the fucking spin slash.
oh man, it was that one thing on Twitter where it's like like you basically see something cool, and right before you're about to click on it, your page refreshes and just shows everything. I it's like I saw one where it's like it basically showed like a Dorito being put in vertically, and that's the finisher.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's the reason why I was like thinking about like a chip like hurting the roof of your mouth.
Right.
Like it's
Also, dude,
oh
it was
man.
such a cool like one of the coolest things in Rider, usually because it's like it'll be like, oh, we're gonna do this big ass finisher, right? And then right
Mhm.
after I've killed the monsters, that we press the belt and the suit comes off. So him doing
Yeah.
this big slash and then turns around and the chips just like crumple off of him,
Mhm.
and that's how the suit comes off. Like the little chip one dies, uh,
Yeah.
and he goes back to like base form.
Mhm.
And he was able to save
Oh.
the girl. We didn't even talk about how cute he looked when he was working in his uniform. Like I love their little uniforms. I loved seeing them in the opening together, rescuing the cat. That's gonna be the dynamic of this trio is looking like so cute.
Yeah, I need to see these guys just they're so adorable. Yeah, like I can't say much more than that. Like they're just adorable, and I can't wait to see. But at the same time, like like he saves the girl. She's afraid of his like it's like I know I'm a monster. Keep just be safe. Don't just be careful next time. And then goes off. And then like we see the next day he also left Sachika a note.
Yep. But
And
before
also like
that,
yeah.
Valen sees him on the bike
Oh,
in the
oh
moonlight,
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and he's
Mike.
like, I finally seen it myself, the monster with the red mouth. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he's left her a note. I love that took. I love that little journal idea. It's so cute. I love when we see it, and
Yeah.
he's like doing scrapbooking with his favorite snacks and everything. Um,
Mm-hmm.
he's obviously got fucking abandonment issues.
I
I
mean I don't think it's
or
abandonment
not
issues.
abandonment
Is
issues. Oh god, what is the
it,
thing I'm thinking of?
um,
He
I,
doesn't
I
want to let
I
people get too close because he's got
yeah.
people taken away from him. But
Yeah, it's like he cares
he's
about them, so it's like
isolating
just
himself is the main
yeah.
thing. And I love that she's
And
like,
like
how does that
yeah.
make any sense?
Exactly. And so I'm basically hoping that she's gonna end up finding him again, like like completely hungry, like in a
Yep.
bush again. I'm hoping that becomes a running joke
I
or something
love
like that.
I
At least for the first bit.
Yep. And we got the preview for the next episode. We got people talking about the red Gavv again because they found out about him.
Hmm.
We're gonna see him transform. People talking about the common rider, and Valen's found a monster. Are you human? Having his first soda gummy.
Hmm.
Very excited about that. High quality treats require high quality spices. Uh,
Yeah.
super excited about like the vibes for this one. We're gonna get fucking the sinful taste of a soda punch. So that's the one that gives him the punch and gummy.
Yeah, like I was like wondering about that. Yeah, the soda punch. And yeah, I was like wondering
Soda
when we
candy is
first
really
saw that.
good, but yeah, I that was the one thing. The one thing about her finding him last episode, I was like, oh, is this gonna be the last time that he goes off and then gets found at the beginning of the episode? It looks like it's not. So it's
Hmm.
gonna be cute seeing him go from like, oh, I was just with you for a little bit to like, oh, I live here now. Which obviously that's where he's going, but
Yeah.
anyway, Ultraman arc. Uh, man, Rin got
What
an
an
episode.
emotional episode. Yeah.
Yeah. First of all,
Whew.
it's starting off with the cute little like kaiju demonstration thing where they like capture it by fucking getting it to like supercharge it. That
Hmm.
was super nice.
Yeah, but obviously this episode is based just around Rin and her past with like her teacher, and like it's so sad. Like,
It's okay. First of all, one of the things that made me a little jealous is like, damn, that's right. Like fucking high schoolers can just go sit in university lectures in Japan. That's pretty nice.
yeah,
Girl was just going to the university after school and they just like let her in. We were letting her read
yeah.
books and go to lectures and stuff.
hmm
Uh
And yeah, and then we actually do like, and like it's actually kind of funny, like seeing this episode as well too, like once again, comparing Discard from Blazer, like they really are research, they're basically helping distribute like kaiju cells and stuff like that, and for research, and after doing their own tests, and like they're talking about how even like once they've done their collection, they're the kaiju is off limits for them to touch again.
yep.
Yeah.
Which is cool. It's a good setup. I also really like the fact that like they set up. We get to see the Rin flashbacks. We get to see like her meet this guy and him be like, "Look, I have a kid now. Things have changed." And you see her like obviously hesitate, like, "Oh, you have a kid now." Uh,
hmm
I like that. Also, they ended up showing us the flashback, and they didn't point like he was. Like she called him a liar, and then he does that same little like tell that he lies when he's talking to her, and it's like, oh, they didn't like specifically point that out to her, but they pointed out that she noticed it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. Like every single time they zoom in on him, like putting his hand like up to his bottom lip, and it's like,
oh, what's up?
shady. Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah. And it comes back later on as well too. So yeah.
Right.
But yeah, it's yeah, like yeah. This episode like really is just about Rin like learning about kaiju, like the professor and stuff like that,
And we get to see her
and
backstory, which one of the things that is so like makes it even sadder is the fact that when he met her, he was researching to build a robot that would basically be Yuppie. But we know that
mm-hmm,
Rin's the one who built Yuppie. So she even did that, like taking over his like dream at that point, or his job
yeah,
technically. And it's
mm-hmm,
like, oh man, you know? And then obviously it seems like Rin was in love with him when she was younger, and
mm-hmm.
so seeing him like be a bad guy and then like that was so sad. She's like, I'll do anything for you, and he immediately takes the bait and is like, okay, help me steal the kaiju cells.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, she's yeah, it's like she was not. And then obviously two kaijus fighting in the background. uh I like that it turned out
Ah.
that the invisible kaiju came up because he was being chased by like a natural predator. That's
Mm-hmm.
always cool to learn about their ecology. I just kind of love how the arc fight is happening like in the background.
Yeah.
like legitimately we are paying attention to other things, and then it's like suddenly it's like, nope, time to put on the sun armor and beat the shit out of these guys.
Yeah, and yeah, and Ark is getting like just double teamed real bad in this episode.
Yep, but we get the like arc moon slash at the end. That was pretty cool.
hmm But
Double
man, like
kill.
yeah, just this, just like this is why I did like the whole. This is why I turned to evil. I needed money for research. It's just like it is this intense,
Yeah,
just like
like,
moment.
and his actor is like selling it. He's like yelling and
Yeah.
he's like angry and he's like, who cares what we have to if we sacrifice a little now to save the future. And you can see like he's got a point, you know.
hmm
But at the same time, it's like, yeah, I mean, people are researching and doing stuff for a reason, and you can't just capture kaiju to try to make use of their powers to like they're living creatures. You can't just do that to them.
Exactly. Yeah. Like just yeah. It's just like really messed up. Like trying to use like these kaiju as a natural resource, which is no, they're just like they're part of the ecology. We only mess with them if they move away from like their designated area essentially.
And even then, like, it's one thing if you could harness their power while they're just like walking around or something, but you
Mhm.
know that he's probably talking about like, oh, we gotta like plug them up to a
Like chain it
battery
up.
and drain them and shit. Yeah. And then
Yup.
like, man, the saddest part was when she was confronting him at the end, and she was basically like about to say like, I love you, and then it's like, I love the time we spent together, and he's basically like, that was so long ago, I don't even remember it. and you're like, oh, that was brutal. And then he does the like touching his upper lip, so he's lying, and he was like,
Yeah.
that was like, damn, bro, rest in peace, Rin.
Yeah, and then it just shows a freaking montage at the end, like as if just to yeah, let's hammer it in even more.
Yeah, that she was like super, super in love with this man. Though I do
Yeah.
love that the goodbye Rin was Rin being like goodbye to the me that was like the me I was before. And then
Hmm.
it's so sweet. You could be like, Rin, I still love you though.
And it's true. I mean, like, yeah,
Yuppie's a
she's the
good
one that
little
made him.
guy. Yuppie's such a
Yeah,
little guy. I love
yeah.
Yuppie.
Oh man, yeah, like yeah, it's yeah, this like it was a surprisingly heavy episode. Like, wow.
Yeah, it made me sad. It made me sad. But it was good. It was good. No complaints about like the episode quality wise. It was just sad. But
Yeah, yeah,
we're
but
getting
honestly,
Space
yeah,
Kaiju next time.
hell yeah. Oh
Uh
man, yeah, like honestly, like it, like yeah, just thinking about this episode, like it is just really cool, like how like we actually like we could still have an Ultraman episode or like Ultraman things happening in the background, literally, while like the character story is meant to go on.
right, like the
Like it
character
actually had a good,
stories happening in the
yeah,
front. Like, hey, the
mhm,
Ultraman stuff is still happening. We're just not focusing on it. And I mean, here's the
yeah,
thing: they still focus on the shots where he's like killing and like being
yeah,
cool.
exactly.
So it's like, yeah, that's fine. We were here to be really sad about this other stuff. Also, fucking love seeing when I watch the Japanese subbed, seeing Yuma actors in the UP do like the fucking calisthenics exercises at the end and stuff.
Yep.
God bless that suit actor. He's doing his best.
Yeah.
Uh, speaking about someone
um
doing his best, okay. Uh,
and yeah, so from Goodbye Rin to Goodbye Genba from the opening.
dude, I was so sad because since they do like the 3 into 5, when they did
Hmm.
the 3 into 4, when I just saw the three of them, I was like, "What's wrong? What am I doing?" And then they only show Joe. I was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
oh, I'm
and
so sad."
yeah, and when they're showing the licenses, like they still do show Boon Orange. They do still show Genba, but like he doesn't show him like like really being a part of the opening.
No, and I
Um,
fucking
um,
love this intro of like him, of him and Ty and Boom Dario, and he's like, "Would you have had me? Would you have made me force him to stay?" No. And then we got Shirabe like, "Oh, it sucks that the ISS doesn't have like another person, like another alien to monitor." And Ty is like, "Yeah, you probably got them off of our backs or whatever, didn't you?" She's like, "I might have." And Bundario's like, "You're awesome," and she's like, "It was all worth it." It's so
yeah,
cute. I love her. Okay.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. Shirabe is just just great, and then we get a communication we get a communication like through the changers, like
I
got a delivery, and it's like they're communicating just like
I love that. I love that they like called him and were like, "We miss you. We love you. I'll be your decoy. We'll do anything for your revenge, but we want to be your friend. Please come back home again."
yeah.
Uh,
And
very
also
cute.
explain also right after that explaining why Genba always has sweets with him.
Yeah, he needs the sugar. He needs the sugar to turn back into his human form. I mean,
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense. Sugar and stuff does like power us in some ways, and
Hmm.
Uh, oh man, I loved seeing the little kid drawings of the
Yeah.
Boon Boojers. That was adorable. I do not trust Taya's uncle. That man. I don't, man. When he's calling him Shonen, like I'm like, bro, please. I thought you were gonna be the one good father figure,
I mean, we'll see, but at the same time, I mean, like,
but I
I
don't
mean,
trust him right now. That's the main thing.
yeah, yeah, right now. But we'll see what happens too, because like, it's like the whole stuff about him talking, yeah, yeah, like him talking about, like Taya actually like did set up a bunch of this stuff like for the children to like look up to the Boon Boonders and stuff.
Which is really funny. It's because it's not that he set that up. Because I don't think that's a thing he set up recently. I think this is he's explaining that like this is just a thing Ty has been doing this whole time, which is setting up these foundations for kids. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I mean that makes sense. And it just made me think for a bit like, oh, Ty is just Batman. Like that's the whole thing, you know.
He
He
really
sets up the
is.
Wayne Foundation to take care of orphans. He ends up having his plucky team of hand-picked Robins.
Oh yeah, he really does. Yeah,
And
it's
he's
honestly really
using
funny.
he's using his fortune that has gotten to him because he lost his parents at a young age to make sure to try to stop other children from dealing with that. Like, oh, he's just,
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. But we
Oh
did
man,
it.
and
We found the dog. Uh,
yeah. Yeah, like okay, so yeah, so like you were talking about last week, we did find Mad Rex's dog, and this episode, he gets revived. I
and
I had to pause.
I love that they've set up that like what's it called, this race is what's it called, like some kind of mystical dude. We had like
Hmm.
the fighter kind of like knight archetype. We had the like
Yeah,
schemer kind of like technology based archetype. Now we have like
yeah,
the marketing slash magical, because like I love that he was using his little Tsuchinoko as like a divining rod to find it.
yeah.
uh
That was funny, and like sending out the
the
Sun
Sons
Eaters to
Eaters,
do.
yeah.
It was so good, but
But
man,
we brought back Mac Rex, and he's Mad Rex Fury.
I had to pause. I was like,
That
I
happened, I
paused for
was
like a
like,
full
I'm gonna hear
minute.
about this from Azure.
Yeah,
We
I'm
went
like,
from Mad Max to Mad Max Fury Road, baby.
exactly. I'm just like,
It's a very punny season. I do enjoy that about it.
yeah. I like it's like I like the thing was is that it's one of those things where I like the moment he came back and he wasn't acting like the Mad Rex we know. Like he was acting like he was following directions, and it's like, oh, this does not seem right at all. But yeah, like yeah, he comes back as Mad Max Fury, and I'm just like, okay, okay, I guess it's really not the same. But yeah,
Yeah.
I paused for a bit,
Yeah,
and
it looks like he's
yeah,
like been kind of like reanimated as a corpse kind of thing. Which again,
yeah,
for
it's
kind of like the
creepy.
mystical dude is kind of that works.
Yep.
I love that even but by the way, even like Sakito is trying to help in his own way. They go to be like, hey, it looks like you could hire some cleaners for your revenge. And he's like, no, this is mine. Leave it alone. Okay, you know where to call us. And I fucking love the like Boone Diesel being like, "Oh, we won't tell them we saw you, as a favor to another like another alien." But I just love when Sakito walks away and Boone Diesel just like chases after him, like like the suit actor running in that suit is so funny to me.
Yeah. Oh man. And then we get we do get our auto monster for the week, and it is a neon sign, and
And it's got like
oh man.
Hashalians and like little guys on them, and like Itasha's little thing and the neon as well. Like it's a cool little neon thing they built for this.
Yes.
And
Ah.
holy shit, it's so fucking funny that they were like, okay, we got Mad Rex. He is going to fight by just beating the shit out of people. We got oh god. I forgot what the
Cannonborg.
custom, yeah, Cannonborg. I forgot the custom corps chief name. He's gonna fight by being sneaky and upgrading things. We got this race. How is he gonna fight? Marketing, baby.
Yeah.
Just the fact that he got all these people. First of all, again, any excuse to see the Sun Seaters in costumes over the costumes. Fantastic.
It's-
I love this. No notes.
yeah.
But that he tricked them all into coming into a restaurant so that he could fucking once he's got them in there, just scare them specifically, and then his auto monster, like his new upgraded auto monsters, just beam the gasoline directly to the fucking auto monster HQ or the auto thing HQ.
Yeah, like it's really funny, like how all three of them have very different ways of collecting gasoline, and they're all effective in their own ways.
Yeah, and I just fucking love the like, yes, what is our greatest enemy? Marketing. Uh, I do like the Mad Rex with the dog on his hand. That looks so fucking funny.
Yeah,
I love that the
and
dog is like the main entity now.
yep, and then we have a one-on-one fight because Madrex and you
Taya,
know
we gotta go back to the rivalry. I'm gonna be
Mhm.
honest. When we were dealing with the side auto monster at the top, I thought that like this was gonna be like if they come back and Taya loses.
Yeah.
But man, I was feeling it for Joe. Joe really wants Genba back, and we get to see why he's kind of like the muscle of the group.
Yeah.
We got to
Man,
see the helmetless strike, which was cool.
yeah. Oh man, yeah. His facial expression during that entire sequence was just so good.
Yeah, he's so
Like,
angry, he's so pissed. He wants Genma back, but he's like, I can't force him to come back. So until he does, I'm gonna do his part. And then even if he after gets demorphed, he still runs out with the change axe. I thought he was
yeah.
just gonna kill him without the suit. I'm
That would
gonna
have
be
been
honest. He
funny.
was screaming. He was screaming so much. I just believed in him. But he does the boon boon change like mid swing,
Mhm.
takes out the auto monster again, basically by himself.
Yeah.
And I love that
Yeah.
he gets captured, he gets shocked, he's about to fall, and he's like, puts the foot down. I refuse to lose.
Yeah. Yeah, Joe was such a badass this episode. Holy fuck.
Yep. And obviously, he took charge. We got to see the police robo again.
Hmm.
I
And
love. Mhm.
yeah, I was say like yeah, I really love it how like this season they have a lot of moments where they do split up the team to deal with their own things.
Yep.
Like and it's also nice to know blue and pink can handle things on their own. Joe can really carry his weight that he needs to and stuff like
Also, I
that.
just now paused this and I'm looking at the auto monster. At least when he's big, he's got a little Yaru car in his sign as well. Like just a fake Yaru car on top of one of the displays, and I'm like, oh, there he is, Yaru.
Yeah, and it's really funny too because he has like the Glico Running Man from Osaka, there, and I'm like, I was just laughing because I'm like, yeah, it's like if you ever go to Dotonbori, the big the place where if in I think it was Osaka, yeah, in Osaka, you would actually see like a lot of those signs because the big crab that's actually part of like a famous restaurant out there and some other stuff. So yeah,
That's pretty
it's just
cool.
really funny. Yeah, it's really funny seeing this like this auto monster have those famous like signs essentially.
Yeah, my favorite thing, especially for a lot of the Boon Boonger stuff, is seeing them like do shit with the pedals and then move the steering wheel, and then you see the mech move, and you're like, "There's no way those controls work like that." Like in
Hey
this
man,
specific
what?
episode, I fucking love seeing fucking Joe step on the gas, start turning, and you see the fucking Boon Robo just start fucking Beyblade spinning.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
so funny.
I mean, it's always funny when you see stuff like this,
It's
especially
all
because
vibes, and I
yeah,
love it.
it's all vibes. Yeah.
Interested in
Uh.
what this guy recognized, because obviously this race saw something about Bundaria and was like, oh, that's that guy.
Hmm.
Well, time to call Mad Max back. And he gets, called back. We end in like a quote unquote tie because Taya wasn't able to finish him off. And we see that, Gemba's been watching over them because he still can't let go.
Yep. And then we finally get some Chashiro lore. Oh my
Chashiro
god.
used to work for the ISS, specifically the
Yep.
big ISS boss, and he's like, "This is the second time I believe this will be the second time I've hired you." And he looks so like he looks so stone faced when he's talking to him. So I'm like, "Oh, Chashiro, what are you feeling now?" And then we get the cut to like the first of all, ending talk again. Looks like they've actually put him dancing by himself in some scenes, and they like cut him in instead of just using the orb, though it did show up
Yeah.
sometimes.
Mm.
Again, really funny how that's how they're adding him in. Uh, but yeah, it looks like he was sent to steal from Taya, and he used to be, they used to be enemies. Also, boxing monster, auto monster, and everyone's got boxing gloves on top of the fucking suits.
Okay. Okay, but still, will this finally be? Am I gonna get faked out for another Chashiro episode? Because I've been waiting for a solo Chashiro episode
Yeah, I
this
have
entire
no
time.
idea. I don't know. We also get to see Cannonberg again, which means I assume he's also been revived the same way that Rex has.
Oh
Which is
yeah.
a good way to bring up the stakes as far as this race as the like current like primary antagonist. I also just
Hmm.
fucking love this shot of like Sakito like sitting down in the corner, and like fucking Bune Diesel comes over with a towel to like help him out as a second. I'm like, that's so dumb. I love it.
Yeah. I love the suit acting in this so
Oh, the
much.
suit acting in this has been fantastic, honestly.
Yeah.
No
But man,
complaints.
but yeah, I can't wait for next week. Oh man,
What do you think? Okay,
we,
so if Cannonball Run. Is there a second Cannonball Run? Like, what do you think his extra thing is gonna be?
If he gets actually wait, that's right. Oh man, I'm actually not sure. What would Cannonborg be? Let me I think there was a Cannonball Run too.
Okay.
Yeah, Cannonball Run. Oh yeah, it is a film series, the Cannonball Run series. Uh
Okay, so there's a chance that his name is gonna be based on one of those movies. Good to
yeah,
know.
there's Cannonball Run 2. Apparently so apparently Cannonball Run 2. Apparently Jackie Chan was actually in Cannonball Run.
Oh, fun.
But there's also the Gumball Rally, Speed Zone, and yeah, that's what I see here. So I'm
So
actually
maybe he'll
not
be called
sure.
something like Cannonborg Zone or something. We'll see. Well, we talked about it now, so hopefully next week we won't get caught too off guard. That was really funny though. When I watched it, I was like, I know who's gonna be laughing about this. Uh,
Yeah,
but with
yeah,
that,
me and my love of puns. Yeah,
yeah, no, same. But with that, we will leave you guys here. Thanks for listening to us always, and we will see you next week. Later.
later.
This program is brought to you by.
Our unending love of Tokusatsu,
If you enjoyed the show, please be sure to like and subscribe.
and hit the bell for notifications. And if you would like to support us further, consider becoming a patron at our Patreon, Half Hour Henshin.
You can get some exclusive benefits, such as your name in the credits and joining our sticker club. Or, if you want to help with a one-time donation,
You can also find us at Ko-fi at Half Hour Henshin. You can email us with any questions or theories at halfhourhenshin@gmail.com or on Twitter at halfhourhenshin.